Worked absolutely perfect. Welcome back to a Celtic State of Mind. Jerry's back. Here he is. Have we got some themed music or whatever, Chris? Have we got anything prepared?
Oh, we should have done. I mean, this is as big as Jota coming back, right?
Away. Guys. Honestly, right?
Right, wait a minute. Whoa. Jerry's a goalie. Is it more like Ross Doohan coming back?
The way he's played the night, by the way.
Hey, by the way, as well, so I'm at my mate Sean McGeekin's house, right? I've had to come here with some glitches at mine. I move into my new place next week, so I'm going to be back if Paul John will have me, but I'll be back regularly again. I've really missed it, right? I'll get to do it in a minute, but I wasn't on as much as well last season because I was working so much. I couldn't catch up with as many games, so I didn't feel right to be commenting on the games if I wasn't watching them. So I was sat with my mate Sean's son, who's a big Ayr United fan, and he's generally said that Doohan's the best goalkeeper they've had in the past 10, 20 years, he reckons. Waxing lyrical about him as well. So it was nice to see him getting a start.
The thing with Ross Doohan, I was looking at this, Jerry. Doohan spent a year, I think, on loan at Ayr United, and he was replaced by Sini Salo at Ayr United, who then went for a year loan deal there. So they've done all right for us in preparing our goalkeepers. And of course, Doohan plays tonight. Chris, we expected it to have that kind of vibe. It's a bounce game. It's like a training match. Celtic have all the ball. They'll go left, they'll go right, they'll go horseshoe to try and find that point of attack and everything else. What observations have you made, though, in that first half?
Do you know what? I'm going to bring this up because I think Celtic follower has summed it up perfectly. It's only 1-0, and he knew it. It's Jerry's fault. So,
is that no Paddy Lavery? Is everyone just saying this now?
That'll be coming. Trust me, that'll definitely come. But no, I think look, it's been quite a dominant, quite a tidy first half in places. I mean, I remember the pre-season last year. Me and you saw a performance, and Jerry mentioned Ross Doohan there and playing in goal, and he's looked solid. But me and you witnessed the performance with Scott Bain. It looked as though he had, he put goose fat on his gloves. The way the ball was slipping through them, it was dreadful. What I've liked tonight is that every one of the players, including the young players, looks to be doing their job quite well. They're quite well drilled. They're communicating. They're reacting quite quickly. They don't look overawed by, the company they're in or the game. A couple of players have stood out for me. I think the wide players have plenty of the ball. I've been particularly impressed with Jude Bonner. He looks confident enough to try and take a player on, which I like. He's also whipping in some of the better crosses we've seen in the game. I would say he's actually outdoing Arnie Engels on that front, which is quite impressive. So he's thrown in some good crosses. Kenny's positionings look pretty good. I've liked that. Mitchell Frame showed some great energy for the assist as well, for the goal. And Big Dane, apart from one moment where he took a bit of a sore one and had me worried, has looked pretty tidy at the back along with Austin Trusty as well. So it's been tidy. I don't think anyone's stood out massively, but I think it's we've rightfully dominated the game. Queen's Park are sitting back, they're camped within their own box. It's got that kind of training game feel, but we're not doing anything that I would say is causing me concern, which is a good thing. So I think, if we can get another goal in the second half, I reckon we could be out for cricket score the way we're playing.
Well, we could, and there was 10 goals the last time we played Queen's Park here at the City Stadium as well. For anyone in the first stream of this evening who thought I was sitting in a toilet, I'm not. Public or otherwise, I'm not in a lavatory. But Jerry, I'm going to go back. I don't know why you're laughing, as if there's some history there. I'm going to go back, Jerry, with regards to the Paddy Lavery comment that you made, because a few weeks ago, Chris and I, we were in Belfast. We went to Ardoyne to meet our friends there, because that's what I would call the Ardoyne boys, Paddy and Danny. These are guys and Jim who put in an incredible amount of effort to put on an incredible show. And today, I just got word from Paddy that he was sending over a donation to the Jamie Tierney Fund. Now, we had done a small donation herself of around, I think it was £250 there or thereabouts, and that was through a raffle that we had organised on the night. Paddy Lavery and the Ardoyne boys sent over £1,250 today, and that was for wee Jamie Tierney. Now that's astonishing.
That's amazing.
Takes unbelievable, Jerry. That takes the final amount on the evening for the charity to £1,500, and that really is a group of guys who have worked really hard for about 3 months to put on a night, and they're looking at profits and they're saying, you know what, we're going to give the profits to the wee guy. So Jerry, we have a ding dong and we have a laugh and a joke about it's always Jerry's fault, but these people are true Celtic men and they're decent human beings.
Absolutely. Do you know, it's what I've missed most.
Yeah, you're here.
Oh,
you're with us, Jerry.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we got you.
All right, good. That's what I've missed the most. It's that camaraderie, and it's the family feel, and everyone's out to help each other as well. I kind of missed that more than actually being on the show, without meaning any disrespect, if that makes sense. And it's all in the title. It's the state of mind, and we know it on here. I've said it so many times. How just being part of the Celtic family's got me through tough times, and it's a great vibe about it all. And it's just great being a Celtic supporter, and so congratulations, Paddy Lavery, as well. And I know, like you say, we're always laughing and joking on here, but there's far more to Acsom than just coming on talking about football and having a laugh. So it's great to see, and congratulations to absolutely everyone involved.
Oh, it's brilliant, Jerry. It's one of the ones where you get a message and it just knocks you sideways because you think we're in a horrible time when it comes to the darkness that exists in this world, and then you get a random act of generosity and kindness. You think to yourself, wow, good people still exist. You know what I mean? It regains your kind of faith in humanity. So, Paddy, I mean it. I'm not just blowing wind up your backside. It's no birthday card. You know what Kevin Graham talks about. This is from the heart, mate. So big, massive thank you to Paddy and the boys. Absolutely. We'll do it again. We'll absolutely do it again. Back to the game then, Chris. I want to pinpoint, you've already mentioned Dane Murray. Dane is one of 3, I think, Celtic players who had been out on loan at various times at Queen's Park. And another one, of course, was Johnny Kenny. So yes. We mentioned it before the game, the fact that Bolton Wanderers are interested in signing him on a permanent. They've offered apparently $500,000. We want £1 million. £1 million for Celtic really is nothing, right? I mean, what's £1 million? You get a Quan for £1 million. That's what you get for £1 million, right? And Johnny Kenny, for me, you're looking at that and you're thinking he's probably on his way out the building. He's maybe got 1 foot out the building. Yet you look at his career, comes in as a young boy, having scored a lot of goals for Sligo Rovers. We'll loan him out to Queen's Park. He's homesick. It doesn't work out for him. He's played at that stadium many a time, trained there. It didn't work out for him, so he gets sent back over to Ireland. And he knuckles down. He could have been lost to the depths of time at that stage. He could have been Nigel Melly. But no, he knuckles down. He scores goals for Shamrock Rovers. He does it in Europe. He comes back, forces his way into the team. Circumstances obviously allow him to do that last season. And he scores the goal tonight, Chris. So we had spoken about him before the game. I don't think what he does tonight is going to make any difference to the future of that player at our football club. But to be honest with you, you've got to give him credit for the attitude, showing the mental strength that he's shown over the last couple of years.
Yeah, and this is what Callum McGregor had alluded to with his comments. He said the change in how he adapts to his surroundings. He looks much more comfortable in his skin. He's far more mature than when he first arrived at the club. And he really feels that there's an untapped talent there that we've just not seen the best of. Now, you're right. I mean, I don't think his goal tonight, as well taken as it was, and even Peter Grant on commentary talked about his positional sense to allow the cross come in. It was great, and it was a good finish. It was a tidy finish. But I think there's a player there. I just don't know if he's going to get the opportunity with our team, because, as I said, there's a lot of competition for that striker berth at the moment. We've got Maeda, who put up some incredible numbers last year. Adam Maeda came in for big money. Obviously, he's got the favour of the manager, hence being backed for that transfer fee. A little bit divisive amongst the fans, but still put up again good numbers. And his limited appearance last season. And you've now got
Here's a question
from Fulham. Yeah, go ahead, Jerry.
Sorry for cutting in, mate, but I was just going to say, see if, imagine, right, say we'd bought both Ida and Kenny for the same amount of money, say £1 million, right? Take the 9 million out of there. Who would you be starting?
That's a question. He's back for 1 minute and he chucks a grenade like that in. Well, that's a good one. Do you know what? If I'd only seen the two of them in a handful of appearances, I'd say it'd be a lot closer than what it is with the transfer fee. So I'd agree with you. I don't think Kenny's had enough opportunity to be on an equal footing with Ida. But at the same time, when he's come in, he's not looked out of place for me. I think Kenny has looked like, give me a consistent run, give me the same number of games, and I think he would put up potentially very, very good numbers. Whether he's not, out doing Ida in training, for example, and maybe that's why Ida's got the preference at the moment. I don't know, but I just think it's very, very difficult to give a guy who is very much established as third choice enough game time to show that he deserves to kind of move up the chain. If he's not doing it, if he's not doing it in training, it's very difficult to give him the opportunity when he's on the park. Tonight, if he gets another couple of goals in the second half, he's doing his chances no harm. But I still think that it's going to be very difficult to break in. And obviously the boy Callum Osmond, who's come in from Fulham, I don't think he's coming in here to be fourth choice striker. He's a player that's going to come in and try and do what Kenny's maybe not been able to do. So it's a difficult one. I think Kenny's best opportunity is to take every chance he gets throughout pre-season and put in really strong performances and give the manager a decision to make. Because at the moment, I think he is still very much third/fourth choice.
My take on him, in the great scheme of things, looking at the entirety of the Celtic squad, is Adam Ida is an international player for Ireland and he's Celtic's at the moment #1 striker. He's the number 9. In relation to Johnny Kenny, I don't think it's anywhere near that. Now, whether or not we like one or the other, or we like both or we don't like either of the two, I do think that he does quite a considerable stage ahead in terms of his career in the pecking order as well at Celtic. And the thing is, Jerry, as we both know, that transfer fee does play a huge part in this. So Brendan Rodgers pushed for this player to come to the football club, Adam Ida. We've paid many think over the odds for him. He's got to be in and around that first team. Whereas Johnny Kenny, he comes in, a few $100,000. If we do sell him for £1 million, the club will actually see it as good business. Bringing in a kid, developing him through loan deals and that kind of thing, and then selling him for £1 million. I see the arrival of Callum Osmond as the writing is on the wall for Johnny Kenny. And I think that we need to sign a centre forward. We know it's not going to be Fitzgerald. He's gone elsewhere for £11.2 million. We probably could have got him for 6 or 7 if we signed him 3 years ago when we were interested in him to begin with. But we need to bring in a striker because not only is Maeda, obviously, for me, a better centre forward. We've got a lot of injuries and players leaving the football club on the wing, so Maeda's going to be deployed there. So we need to bring in another centre forward. Johnny Kenny, I think he will go away and he'll do really, really well. And I hope that he breaks into the Ireland first team along with the likes of Adam Ida. And it won't come back to haunt us, I don't think, because the club will look at it and say, well, it was good business. It was £1 million. He was there. There was a lot of circumstances. Did he grab the situation with both hands last season? He got a goal, didn't he, against Aberdeen? I think he had a few other chances that he could really...
couple of good chances that he kind of worked well. Yeah,
he could have really, he could have scored a few more goals. Oh, Chris, this is the thing. And when Brendan Rodgers is looking at that, he would have been nowhere.
It was one split from Maeda away from being a hero. Remember?
Right.
Yeah, that's 100%. And I think Kyogo leaving, Brendan Rodgers wanted a striker. He was unequivocal about that. He wanted a striker in January. He didn't get one. So it was circumstances that pushed Johnny Kenny up the tree, if you like. So if it does go, wish him all the best. But when Osmond came in, that type of striker, there's no way he's coming in to push Ida for the number 9 jersey. I'm sorry, I'm not having that. The guy's never kicked a ball in senior football. He's never played senior football. Yeah, highly rated, done well at the level that he's played at down at Fulham. But if we're bringing in an academy player from Fulham to push for the number 9 jersey, what's happening to our recruitment? He's a guy that's going to be in the squad. He might have the Johnny Kenny role next season. That's fine. Develop him that way. But we can't be bringing him in to be pushing for the number 9 jersey, Chris, because if that's the case, that's a backward step. Nothing at all personally against the player. It's just their recruitment strategy needs to be far, far better than that. I mean, when we sign Nygren, I'm looking at him thinking, all right, so 1 in, 1 out was the headline that we used on the bulletin that day, because I fully expected Kuhn to leave, Nygren to be the replacement. People are telling me, but he's the number 10. Okay, Kuhn's away now. So is Nygren the replacement? So we sell someone for 16, bring someone for 1.7. I can see why people get cynical. I know Kevin Graham, he's got an honours degree in cynicism, but there's a few things that he said in relation to this that I agree with. I do agree with that, and I can't help it because it's based on evidence. And you then start getting worried about, wait a minute, is this Inamura comes in, 250 grand? Who scouted him? Do we still have a scout in Japan? Is he based on agency recommendation? Is he based on recruitment data? I am a little bit cynical about that type of signing, I've got to say, but it's based on evidence, it's based on experience, rather than just being cynical for the sake of it, guys,
Yeah, absolutely. Just to let you know, that says the game kicked off now, so we'll probably start losing our audience. But yeah, I would agree. I think he's Kenny. I think is for the moment third choice. I think he's competing with Osmond. I don't think Maeda is under any threat if the boss have used him as the first choice striker. And I think Ida at this moment has got that second berth. But Ida's got a lot to prove this season as well amongst the fan base. So it'll be interesting to see if he's able to step up.
It certainly will be. Let's go into the second half at the City Stadium, and hopefully Jerry and Chris can join me at full time on a Celtic Stadium.
Welcome back, Jerry. Awesome.
Cheers. That was a nice wee song.